Hi yogis, and welcome to our 30-minute Pilates Vinyasa flow. All you'll need is your beautiful self and a soft surface beneath you. Begin to roll down one vertebrae at a time, tucking your chin to chest and letting that head land down last. Begin to soften the entire body. Feel nice and heavy. Let the weight of your body imprint on your mat in this peaceful, blissful Shavasana pose. Traditionally, we end our practice in Shavasana, but sometimes it's great to switch it up and see what happens if we reverse our action sometimes. I invite you to begin to breathe deeply into the low belly, letting that belly puff out with each inhale and come back in towards the spine with each exhale. Invite some movement into the extremities, the wrists, the ankles, the fingers, the toes. And go ahead and stretch those arms up overhead into a gentle morning stretch. And bringing those knees into chest, gently begin to rock side to side, giving that lumbar spine a bit of a massage. Maybe playing with circling the knees out and away from you. Just gently getting into the hips. Do what you need here, yogi's choice. Go ahead and bring those legs to a reverse tabletop. Arms come up overhead. You can drop one toe down by bringing the opposite arm back and switching sides. If you're a bit confused here, you can just bring those arms down and tap one toe at a time. No worries. And if you're ready for an extra challenge, maybe lift those arms up overhead. And just bring all your awareness to the low belly, that core. Once you feel comfortable with these tapping motions, you can add those oppositional arms. Oppositional energy from one toe to one fingertip. Good. Once you've had enough of that, you can bring the feet back down to the earth and curl into a bridge pose. Good. Engaging the glutes, keeping some space between the chin and the chest. Articulate the spine one vertebrae at a time back down to the earth. And once again, we'll press up into that bridge pose. And I challenge you to bring one foot off your mat, lift it up into the air, and adding some mobility into the ankle, begin to draw circles with the feet. Switching sides, bring the opposite leg up, flex and point that foot, bringing awareness to the ankle joint, toes, all that good stuff. Now coming back to that sense of oppositional energy, see if we can stay in our bridge pose or at least hover the pelvis off and begin to reach one arm back while we reach the opposite leg up. Don't worry about what this looks like, or if you're confused, again, just bear with me. This is just to test our core strength and to warm up our glutes and hamstrings before we get into some standing yoga asanas. Good. Pelvis back on the floor. Begin to windshield wipe the knees side to side, turning the head one way and the other, getting into a bit of a supine spine stretch action. And legs back up to reverse tabletop. See if we can twist side to side, giving that low ab a bit of a workout here as we warm up the lumbar spine. Beautiful. Don't forget to breathe here. Vinyasa yoga is breath to movement. And breath is a vital Pilates concept too. Good, landing on one side. Go ahead and deepen the stretch. Stay here for a few cycles of breath. And when you're ready, you can switch those sides slowly and gently. Always keeping that belly button to spine action whenever we do any big spinal twisting motions. Good. Coming out of that twist, go ahead and rock and roll up, coming into rolling like a ball here. Compact yourself and meet me in a seat of choice. And place those palms on the shins. Begin to roll the head in a circle one way, drawing a big circle with the nose, and then reversing that action. Integrating the thoracic spine. You can get into some seated cat-cows. Pressing that heart space forward and coming back in with the chest to chin. Good. And integrating the whole spine, drawing circles, exploring your back space, your front space. Just enjoy, let it be sensual, let it be playful, and let it be intuitive. Good, really pressing into your back space and extending the spine, meeting me in a tabletop position, shoulders stacked over wrists, hips stacked over knees. Coming into a bear crawl hover, lift those knees off the mat. Engage the core, belly button to spine. Press those hips up to our first downward facing dog of the practice. Good. And slowly returning back down to the earth in that bear crawl position. Untuck the toes. Take a few moments in Balasana, child's pose. Good. And when you're ready, meet me in our tabletop position once again. And we'll find oppositional energy, reaching that right leg back, left arm front, and begin to tap arm and leg down. Think inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. And if you'd like, you can add some crunching actions by bringing the elbow in towards the knee. Just staying on one side here. Breathe deeply, and for a bit of an extra challenge, you can reach for that back foot and come into a binded tiger's pose. If this is a bit too strong for you today, there's no need to bind. From here, see if we can tuck that toe and bring that knee in towards the chest, coming into a low lunge. Good. From here, we'll step it forward into a forward fold, top of mat. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Let that head come up last. And we'll interlace the fingers, bring the palms upward, begin to bend to one side. You can play with how you like your gaze, upward or downward. Inhale on the way up, exhale, bend it to the other side. Good. And coming back, facing the front of your mat, see if we can come into a C curve position. And then we'll opposition that and bring that heart space up to the sky. And just keep coming back and forth, kind of creating a banana shape with the body. And when you're ready, come back down into your forward fold. Step it back into your low lunge. And reach it up into three-legged dog on the other side. A bit of a funky variation. And coming into a modified chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Take a moment to pedal out the feet. Maybe get into the hips, shake the head yes, no. Bear crawl position once again. Softly land the knees. come into the other side, opposition leg and arm tap. Good, really warming up the core here. Getting into the hamstrings, the glutes. Go ahead and bring the elbow to knee, add those crunches in. Integrating the spine. This is a full body move. Good. Just keep breathing, keep moving. And if you did so on the other side, you can bind your tiger's pose, hold for a few breaths. Just let go with ease, and we'll press back into our low lunge. Take a few moments to establish the position before we step forward into forward fold, rolling up, head comes last. Inhale, reach the arms up, high mountain pose. Exhale, reach it down, forward fold. Inhale, step it back to low lunge. Exhale, reach it back into the three-legged dog. And we'll return back to our modified chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, child's pose. Take a few breaths, take a moment to set an intention for the rest of your practice. Maybe call in an energy into your day. Just invite you to come back to those deep, low belly breaths, oxygenating the body and muscles before we press back into downward facing dog. Go ahead and come into a three-legged dog, finding some hip mobility, making circles with the knee one way and then the other. Inhale, reach that knee, step it in between the two hands, coming into high crescent lunge now. Really root the big toe down into the mat. Bend the elbows, lift the heart space up, and come into an airplane lunge when you're ready by launching that chest forward, arms up. Exhale, reach the hands down. Chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Good, step it forward. Top of mat, forward fold. Inhale, reach it up, halfway lift. Exhale, extend up, high mountain. Dive it down, forward fold. Return to your plank position. Hold for a few breaths. And when you're ready, take a full chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, let's reach the other leg up, three-legged dog. And we'll find those circular motions in the hip, bending at the knee. Be explorative, be creative here, be yourself. Step it through, low lunge. Reach those arms up, high crescent lunge. Carve the space, draw those elbows in, heart space up, and reach the heart space forward. Arrow lunge, arms up, back down to the earth. Take your flow, vinyasa, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Other leg, once again, three-legged dog. Bend the knees, step it through. Inhale, reach it up, crescent lunge. Exhale, bend the elbows. Arrow lunge, adding it on. Let's come right away into a warrior three. So big launch here. Bring that back knee to chest, coming into a standing figure four, hands at prayer in your heart space. See if you can grab a hold of that ankle, take some time. If you have a block, you can hold on to that, or simply just stay with the hands in prayer. Testing our balance here, coming back up. And we'll return into our low lunge. Find your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Moving nice and quick. Jump it forward, hop, step, float. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, up. Exhale, release back down to your mat. Step it back, full plank. Hold for a few breaths. Heart space comes forward, elbows in, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Good. Coming into the other side. Three-legged dog. Bend the knee. Step it through in between the two hands. Coming up, high crescent lunge. Open up the heart space. Coming into that arrow lunge, launching forward, warrior three. Long line of energy from the crown of the head to that back foot. Bring the knee into chest, standing figure four. Testing that balance. Engaging the core, the glutes. Trying not to hold any tension in that neck. When you're ready, coming up to standing. See if we can stay balanced on that one leg for a bit of a challenge. Arms release down, find your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Beautiful. You can take a moment to pedal out the feet here. Hop, step, float, forward fold, top of mat. Roll it up. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach it up, high mountain. Exhale, twist it to the left. Arms come to letter T. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, dive it down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down, step it back, plank. Again, vinyasa flow. Inhale, upward facing dog, doing excellent. Downward facing dog, big exhale, reach it up. Right leg, three-legged dog, step it through, low lunge. High lunge, arms come down to the mat. Step it forward, forward fold. Slowly roll up to our chair pose, coming into a sun B. Root that tailbone down towards the mat. Extend the legs, dive it down, forward fold. Step back to plank. And take your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, release, down dog. Other side, left leg up, step it through, low lunge, coming into crescent. Arms down to the earth, step it forward, forward fold, rolling up, meeting in chair pose once again. Magnetize those inner thighs together, small space between the heels, extend, lift it down, forward fold, step it back, plank, you got it, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hop, step, float, top of mat, forward fold. And we'll roll back up, meet into that strong chair position, belly button to spine. Breathe, find your grounding, find your centering. Bring the hands to heart space. Twist towards one side. And keep those hands into prayer. See if we can step the opposite leg back into a twisted lunge for a bit of a challenge. And if this is within your practice, you can bind your lunge, maybe play with your gaze if you want to look back towards your mat or towards the front. When you're ready, unbind, coming back up to high crescent lunge. Twist it out into a warrior two. Inhale, high five the back wall and make a circle to come into wide-legged forward fold. Good. And if it's within your practice and you're ready for it, you can come into a headstand practice. And if not, no worries, just stay in that wide-legged forward fold. Wherever you're at, you can land those feet back down. Begin to slowly come up with the hands on the hip through flat back, meeting me in our warrior two position. Cartwheel the arms down. And immediately other side, three-legged dog. Coming into some three-legged dog crunches. Play with bringing the knee to one elbow and then the other. Getting into some oblique work. This is a very strong practice. If at any moment the wrists start to feel a little bit weak, you can always take a break. Good, meeting me back in downward dog. Let's hop, step, float, forward fold, top of mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, roll it up, meeting me in that chair pose. Good, take a moment to feel nice and strong before we take our twist to the other side. So twisting towards the right now. And we're lifting that left leg up and back. See if we can come into that twisted lunge. Beautiful. If you took a bind on the other side, see if you can find it on this one. Good. And opening up into warrior two. Reach it back, circle it down. Wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Pada Tadasana. If you're craving another headstand, you can take it, or I invite you to just chill in your wide-legged forward fold if that's what your body needs today. Good. Meeting me where you're at, coming up, and warrior two once again, top of mat, cartwheel it down, reach the opposite leg up, three-legged dog, and find those crunches on the other side. Beautiful. Matching movement to breath here, remembering that without our breath, there is no yoga. And whether we're in asana or we're doing a fun little workout, we always need to breathe. Good. Whenever you're ready, just meet me in child's pose, balasana, relaxing that forehead, grounding it into the mat. Begin to settle your breath as we slow down our practice. And coming out of child's pose and up to a seat. Go ahead and swing those legs out long in front of you. And we'll roll down one vertebrae at a time, letting that head come down last. Beautiful. Take a moment to relax and feel nice and heavy. We'll come into a reclined shoelace. Can find some movement here or stillness. If your body is ready for it, you can come into a supine twist within this little shoelace variation. Just breathe deeply after all that core work. This should feel amazing on the lumbar spine. Good. And simply switch the cross of your legs and take that reclined shoelace on the other side. Good. And if you're up for it, you can take that supine spine variation. If keeping both legs tucked is too much, feel free to extend that bottom leg nice and long. Just remember that both sides of the body are going to look different and feel different on any given day. So always meet yourself where you're at in the present moment. All right, reach both legs up, give those feet a nice little shake, and just find some stillness in legs up the wall pose for a moment before we bend at the knees and return both feet back down to the earth. Good. Pressing into our bridge pose once again. And just breathing it out, imprinting the top of the shoulders into your mat. And if it's within your practice and you'd like to take it, you can come into a wheel position, pressing into the wrists. Sorry, not the wrists, the hands. And coming back down slowly and safely by engaging the whole core. See if you can land in your bridge pose before you slowly bring that pelvis down. Beautiful. Bring both legs into spine. Rock side to side and just rock and roll up a few more times. Just as we did at the beginning of class, finding a bit of parallelism here. And extending the legs long, flex the feet, reach the arms up overhead, find a long spine before we come into seated forward fold. If you do have a block nearby, you can always place it on the top of your thighs and rest your head upon. or you can keep a bend in the knees. Good. And when you're ready, one last bit of core work, coming into our boat pose by slightly tucking that tailbone underneath, keeping space between the chin and the chest. And for a bit of some fun and flair, we can come into some dancey swishes with our arms, coming into the obliques once again. Maybe giving me a big smile. Don't forget to breathe and have fun. And extending into a full boat pose for one last bit of challenge before we come down into our corpse pose. Good. Knees into chest one more time. Rock the legs side to side. Windshield wipe after all that abdominal work. Maybe bring those legs up once again. And if it's within your practice, you can come into shoulder stand. I encourage that you bring your hands at the base of your pelvis here. This is a great exercise, or asana, I should say, to find length in the lumbar spine. And if you're wanting to go deeper, you can come all the way into halasana, plow pose, by reaching the toes towards the back of the mat. And keeping the hands on the pelvis. Or if this is something you've done many, many times in your practice, you can interlace the fingers. Just breathe deeply and enjoy this beautiful lumbar spine stretch. Again, don't force anything. Always meet yourself where you're at today. Feel free to come down to legs up the wall at any moment if this becomes too much. Good. When you're ready, you can slowly bring those feet up, coming back into shoulder stand. And with control, bring the whole spine down, letting that pelvis come down last. And feet return back to the earth one last time with the windshield wiper motions. You can get the head into the motion. Stretch those arms up overhead. And settle into your well-deserved shavasana. Let everything go in this moment. Feel the weight of your body. Make a deep impression into the earth. And just be in this present, blissful awareness. Slowly come back to your body, back to your breath by rocking the head side to side, wiggling the fingers and toes, and choosing one side to roll onto into a fetal position. Making your way up to an easy pose, legs crossed in front of you when you're ready. Inhale, let's reach those arms up to the sky. Exhale, peel to one side, coming into a lateral stretch here. Inhale again, reach the arms up. Exhale, carve onto the other side. Good. Inhale, reach it up and take a twist to the side, looking to the back wall. And when you're ready, just switch sides. One last big deep breath. Inhale, bring those hands to prayer, thanking your mind for its beautiful creativity and intuition. Thanking your heart for its warmth and love that radiates from you on any given day. And thanking yourself for showing up on your mat. And I thank you as well. Namaste. If you enjoyed this flow and want to see more from me, please hit that like and subscribe button. Ciao, bye.